Good day, people. This is John. How you guys doing? This is another beautiful day in Ukraine, and with me, I have a special guest. It has been a long time since I did my last interview, but yeah, here we are again with another one. And well, first off, yeah, you can introduce yourself and who we are having here.
My name is The Wolf from USA. And this beautiful little thing is a rescue from Kherson. Her name is Mimi, and she is the first true war dog born on the battlefields of Kherson.
Exactly. So, right to the questions then. Um, so, when did you come to Ukraine? Uh, First, when the war started.
I came in early October of 22. I wanted to do something to help. I knew I had been in many wars with the US, and this one was different due to the fact I felt like I needed to be in the war versus had to be.
Yeah.
And it just kind of came to me as I was here. And I became a trainer and instructor for tactical casualty combat care.
Yeah, exactly. That's only one of the questions which I'm gonna ask. So you kind of predicted one of my questions. That's only good. But yeah, like overall, how do you feel about this country and the Ukrainians?
I was blown away with their generosity and they're so I don't even know to say the word for appreciative is not a good enough word for when you tell them that you are here voluntarily. You make your own way here. You get donations to stay here. And once you tell them that you're not being paid by their government, you're getting donations. They do anything for you.
Yeah.
I mean, they understand that you're putting your life in danger. You and every other international that are here trying to help their country for a cause that we know of, but they are so beat down by the Russians, they don't see it and they can't even understand it, and they just are so adoring, and they will help in any single way they can.
That's how it goes, man. But yeah, so when you heard about Putin's special operation, where were you at that point?
I was in the U.S. Actually was going through hard times. As a U.S. combat veteran, had just did not like adjust back to society that U.S. wanted me to. I always felt like I was going to go back to war, so they told me to forget about the war. But something always told me, don't forget your war skills. You'll need them again.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be for the U.S., to be honest, but like over in the desert. But no.
Yeah.
It looks like my skills are really useful over here so far. I don't know. I'll just take it day by day. That's all we got here in Ukraine, maybe hour by hour. But yeah, I enjoy teaching Ukrainians and other internationals, anyone who will listen. I do it for free. I'll teach you how to stop the bleed, go through March. It's a great job. It's a great job.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. That's my payment. The feeling I get through just other volunteers like yourself and the Ukrainian people. I mean, because they're happy that I'm doing it when I'm sitting there telling them, you have to send your children to school with 2 tourniquets in their lunchbox. Because it's a necessary, and they learn how to use it on me. They do very well in my class. Actually, the kids do better than the adults, to be honest with you. But, I mean, the fact that we have to tell them now when you go to school, take 2 tourniquets in your lunchbox instead of a juice. It's a different way of thinking that no one in the world even understands. They see the news, they see all that stuff, but they don't see the real side of it. They don't see the fact that when you pack your kids' lunch, you have to remove something for tourniquets because they do know how to use it because I've trained them, and others have trained them.
But yeah, like, what was your first reaction of hearing about Russia invading Ukraine?
Huh. I sat there, I watched the what was it? The training exercise being built up
Yeah.
on the other border of Kharkiv and all the way through Lake Sumy and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't look like a trick, but you know, whatever. I didn't know much. I was dug in my American life, you know. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you exactly what was happening at that point in my life because I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
My brain switched off once the invasion happened.
Yeah.
But that catalyst that really got me going was Brittany Griner being stopped at coming through from China. Because what I saw was the Chinese had the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I was like, if there's an invasion, I guarantee you they're gonna wait for the Chinese Olympics to be over with. And sure enough, shit. So yeah, when China Olympics ended and Brittany Griner was coming home from the U.S. Olympics from there, whether she had whatever she had on her, all that's superficial. The fact that they held her back as the last passenger on the plane and held her as a hostage and invaded at the same time is not a coincidence. Yeah. It's the same thing as we have 2 Americans held right now, a Marine and a Wall Street journalist, at this point, right now, are held captive in Russia. Yet, nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. Their families are worried as hell. Are they ever going to come home? So it's, to me, I was in the American military. I was an infantryman. And I was in the 90s, so we got trench warfare. We got anti-Russian warfare. And I'm like, you know what? This is my war. You know, I was in Iraq, I was in Afghanistan, I was in Bosnia. But it's, everything I was trained for was this. So why would I sit on the sidelines back home just watching it saying, oh yeah, I could sit there and commentate from the couch in America all day long, or I could join the fight. So I came over to join the fight, but when I got here, I realized that I'm better used as this new thing, which is called humanitarian aid. Not new, but humanitarian aid, which was new to me, instead of a legion. Wasn't really happy about doing it, but I did it, and I found a lot of joy in it. I found that it's actually very, very fulfilling. You're going to get much more fulfillment in your heart and what you're doing in your life. No matter who you are in your past, you'll get it done if you do humanitarian aid here. And you don't have to be here to do humanitarian aid. You just have to support.
Oh yeah, man. That's how it goes. Yeah, couldn't have said it any better. Like, holy shit. But yeah, what can you tell me about your history with the military and your background as a soldier?
My background as a soldier was from late 90s. For obviously U.S. Army infantry, and then moved my way up to a lot of specialized schools. And I was in a very highly deployed unit, so I got to move around to different parts of the country real fast or real slow. Got a lot of didn't get a lot of like intel on exactly what like what was going on in the world or anything. We just responded, and we did what we had to do, and we come back. But then after being back for so many years, from doing these missions and a NATO mission in Bosnia, a very quick response mission in OEF, and an occupation and interim governmental mission in Iraq, you learn that everything is subjective in war. But the one thing that's not is the human death toll. And unfortunately, in war, that's just the way it is. So it's acceptable in some ways, but unacceptable in others. And what's happening here is beyond anything anyone's seen since World War II. That's why I keep wondering why the world has forgot about this war, because this is children. This is over 300,000 children missing still to this day, from Mariupol and Kherson all the way on the Black Sea. They just disappeared. They went to re-education camps in Russia. And it's like, okay, that's kind of a big thing. And they're supposed to be held not too far away in Crimea, which is Ukraine. And obviously can't get in there to get them out yet. But soon enough, hopefully we'll free the children in the camps of Crimea.
Yeah, let's not forget about the kids. Yeah. But so everybody needs to do their part concerning this war. Obviously, a lot aren't doing squat. But how would you describe your part throughout this war?
I wouldn't be able to describe my part, to be honest with you. My part just comes to me as I do it when I meet folks like you. My part is to find the people that here are really here for Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are volunteers that came over who are more about pictures for themselves, this and that, kind of like what we call war tourists. It's not that they're a bad thing. They're here. They'll do something to help. But if you're truly, truly just here to I want no recognition. I want nothing. I just want to help these people. I want to see Ukraine be Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do that, you just won't understand what you do when you do it. You just do it.
Oh, yeah.
And you hope you live through it, really.
Oh, yeah.
And if you live through it, maybe something will come through it. I don't know. Just get the message out.
Oh, yeah. And you've been training soldiers here also.
Yes.
So, you've been training Ukrainian soldiers.
I have.
So, how would you describe Ukrainian, the spirit of the men?
Very, very wanting to learn. They don't like to make mistakes, but then you teach them, hey, look, this is training. Make the mistake, because I can teach you how not to make that mistake again. That's when it's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got guys within that group. Like, I'll have a group of 20 that I'm training to do tourniquets, tamponades, and evacuations, like emergency medical evacs. And when they first come through as a test, it's just, actually, it's funny. I don't mean to say it in that kind of way, but it is when you're doing it over and over, because they just don't do it right. But by the time they end the 6-hour class, they'll be able to do a tourniquet or a tamponade better and faster than myself.
Sure.
And that, as long as I make sure that I tell those guys to teach the guy below them. That's the one message I always want to teach. So they do very well in the classes. They learn very fast. And because they need to, because they understand it because of what's already happened to them. So they don't play. They want to know. And they soak up. So what I also teach them after teaching that is spread that knowledge. Don't hold it. Spread it to your children, spread it to whoever. Because the more people who know how to do tourniquets and tendonotting is more survivors of Ukraine.
Yes, just damn good. But a little bit more about your military background. Like, I'm interested in at what age did you join the army, and how long did you serve?
Oh, I was U.S. Army. I think it was 21-ish. I joined 97, and my active time frame was over in 010.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 10, not 010.
That's cool. So
it was a long period of time. Few conflicts, few wars in there. But nothing like this little guy. She's a true warrior.
well, she is, and we're only wondering what she's been through ever since she was saved in. Again, one more time. Where was she saved? In what kind of situation?
This thing here, she's only 8 months. She is been born on the right side of the river in her town. She knows nothing but packs of dogs chasing her and artillery, just artillery shrapnel going around. Thank God I haven't found a piece in her yet. And aerial bombings. She's got so much shell shock that none of us even understand. She's starting to come through. And as you know, everyone that's seen her on the videos wants, from Finland to America and all countries in between, are they want to pay to have her shipped to their house.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing is, she's Ukrainian. She belongs in Ukraine, and she needs therapy as well as the guys coming from the front who need therapy.
Exactly.
It's a perfect fit. As much as we all would like her, she's got to help the Ukrainians. And we'll go get some more of these little pups from different war-torn villages. They're all out there. Just got to go find them. Get that little puppy, bring him back. We got trainers to get them trained up, and they can be great service dogs for guys coming back from the front to ease their suffering.
Yeah, that's.
And they can ease the dog's suffering as well.
Yeah, that's an important mission as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people from Finland have been asking me if I'm going to bring Mimi to Finland, but obviously Mimi has some more important things to do here. So, if I'm going to be the last resort, then maybe. Yeah.
Well, then there'll be a fight between Finland and U.S.
But yeah, you've experienced war before multiple times, and how do you feel about this one? This war differs from the others, obviously.
Sure. Well, the most obvious is the fact that this is not a war that the world's used to, because most surviving people in the world right now that are from 60 below don't know anything about World War. Other than reading history books, they don't know anything about World War II. If you want to know about this war, talk to your World War II veteran if they're still alive. If not, then you need to go do some history, because that's what this war is. This is a nasty war. This is a war that is meant to take out multiple countries, multiple cultures. They don't want anything, no religious, it's not even about a religious war either. This is just a complete annihilation of a people, because we want your land. And we want your resources. And then they'll move on to the next country soon after. It is basically back to World War II. The world has not seen anything like this in so long that they don't know what's happening right now. This is not Iraq. This is not a Vietnam. This is not. I really don't want to speak of other countries' wars because I feel like I might disrespect them, but it's not any of their conflicts either. This is a combination of all that. And this is just like, I mean, there's parts of this war that are like Stalingrad in World War II. And it's just, it's a mess. It's bad. And what's really bad is the fact that there's social media now instead of back in World War II days. There was no arguing what's happening. Now, you have social media that can say this is what's happening, and all of a sudden you get something from the other side. And, oh, well, it's not happening. It's happening. These people are being wiped out. And for some reason everyone's deciding that, oh, well, maybe not that's true. Let's not help anymore. And things are starting to turn very bad again because of that.
But yeah, like from a topic to another, like how do you feel about unexperienced volunteers coming down to Ukraine? Like, do you have any experience concerning this?
I do. I actually had my first tour here in 22. We had a guy. I mean, I love him. He was gung ho. But we found out that somehow he got over here without having any military experience whatsoever. Never been in a war. Just came from his civilian job over. If you get here with that position and you go straight to the military, it's not a good outlook for you. I mean, this war is nothing but artillery and trenches, which means you need a lot of bodies. You need a lot of people to be able to rotate through there because they're going to get hit sooner or later with shrapnel. Not killed, not saying that, but still taken out of the fight. And I always need someone in that hole to be vigilant, because if not, Russia advances. This is a trench line warfare game, and it's nasty. No one's ever seen it since World War I, World War II. This isn't any wars that any of us have seen. I'm telling you, this is our grandparents' war. If you want to know about this war, we need to talk to our grandparents if they're still alive, if we're lucky enough to still have them around.
You said it, man. But like, still talking of a little bit of those newcomers and volunteers, like what kind of advice would you give to people that haven't been to Ukraine but are seeking out to volunteer?
Oh, okay. That's a better way to put it. Yeah. There are safe zones that are perfect for them, and it's almost like any other job you might have. You start as a beginner and you move your way up. You're not going to go right to the front lines as a volunteer. I really hope not, or you're in a bad organization. Okay. Good organization will keep you towards Lviv, where you can learn ins and outs of things, how warehouses work, how the people come pick up. You'll hear stories from the guys who come pick up and all this kind of stuff. And then you move to an intermediate zone where it's a little bit heavier, such as maybe Kyiv or something like that. And you're not just doing a pickup. You can go with the guys with the pickup and be dropped there because they need someone to watch the warehouse there. And it just gets distributed into smaller hubs and warehouses from there, all the way out to the battlefield, to the very front lines, where someone like me will give an IFAC to a soldier and watch him open it up and not understand what's in it. And I'll say, okay, good. I wanted to see your face because that means you don't know how to use them. That's great. I mean, it's not good, but the fact of the matter is, I'm also an instructor. I will train all of you on these IFACs I just gave to you, instead of just giving you an IFAC and letting you go, because those things save your life and your friend's life. So if I train you on it and you train the next guy and we keep giving IFACs, not as many KIAs, if that means anything. At least you get to come back to the rear and get medical treatment and go from there.
Feel you.
And hopefully these new guys, they'll be in country for a long time and figure all that out, and they'll be doing deliveries up front. It's just a slow process. You gotta stick with it. If you're really, really dedicated, you will.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, yeah, you've like experienced this war like from very early on. So, like from all of your experience, like what has been your most heartbreaking moment throughout this war?
Mm. Uh, the Russian war crimes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't want to go into them on this, but I do remember the 13-year-old girl's hand in Izium sticking out of the earth. And you can see the little letter blocks on her little wrist thing. And as my friends showed me their video, because they were actually there filling the body bags of Izium.
Mm.
It's the story of Izium that really, really, really turns me.
Oh yeah.
And if no one knows about that, I don't know why the world's forgot about Izium, but it was horrible. What they found in those woods was horrible. It's just like Bucha and Irpa. It's disgusting what the Russians did and what they did to the people that were there that they didn't kill right away. They almost wish that they would have killed them. Actually, I've actually run into some that have said, yes, I wish they would have killed me instead of leaving me alive under occupation. And it's hard for me to even listen to a Ukrainian who wants to tell their story to me, but it's so harsh. I cannot listen to it. And that's what makes me cry.
Because yeah, talking of which, like for instance, PTSD, it's like it's a real. I mean, it's a real thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like personally, like even though I haven't been fighting or going all too close to the front line, I still have experienced like artillery and bombings, for example, in Kherson, like very much, like recently. And the thing is, like I jump at the smallest noises ever. Like for this one time, I had a bus like going through Poland, and it was a night bus. So it was a night bus, so I fell asleep, and there was this lady next to me, and yeah, some huge branch like hit the roof of the bus, and I jumped and I hugged the lady next to me.
Yeah.
And she kind of had an idea where I'm from, so at least from where I came from, so she kind of understood. But yeah.
But that's a great instinct. I mean, you're going to save the guy next to you. Or gal.
Yeah, but yeah, just talking of PTSD, like, how has this war affected you mentally?
You know, I'm here in country. I just don't even think about it like that. Because that will only show itself if I survive and make it back home. I'll worry about that then. Right now, what the war has done to me is get me more sharper and keen to what needs to be done, what I can do personally to help one piece. Because this is not, one person can't fix this war. But one person can help influence the war. Even if you live in Sweden, Finland, Norway, Germany, France, UK, America, all of you can help, even from sitting there. There's volunteers from your countries. Help them.
And there you go.
And there you go.
Yeah, but like talking of our home countries, like after everything you've experienced in Ukraine and so on, like how is it like to go back home, like into this so-called normal life?
Well, that one's always weird. I mean, after being through a few other wars, I was kind of prepared for that.
Yeah.
But being through this one and then going home, and this one being very political and not U.S. involved, it was different dealing with the public back home who was basically trying to convince me that there was no war in Ukraine when I just left Ukraine. And I'm like, how? Where, how, and did you get any of this information? And whether, they could say whatever they say about it, I mean, sure. It's not true. There's a massive war going on. It's just disgusting what they're doing to the Ukrainian people who are trying to just live some kind of meager little life, existence, underneath the shelling and the bombing. But they'll actually drive through artillery shells to go to work, to be a waitress. Yeah, and this is not volunteers, this is nothing. This is the Ukrainian people. This is a young Ukrainian girl just trying to be able to eat the next day. And that means she's got to avoid dying on the way to work, which is going to be harder than actual work. And then hope that people show up so she can get some money. And then hope that she'll be able to buy some food. Because not much international aid's coming in for her to be able to just get food for free. And that would not be free food. She's worked for the food by just living in her town. But yeah, once you get down to that Kherson region, it's bad.
Exactly, and that's what I've been trying to explain. Like when I did all those vlogs in Kherson, like a walk in a park. Might be the last one.
Yeah, a walk in the park.
Or me trying to get my hair cut. It wasn't easy.
Like I seriously want to get my hair cut. But I also want to stay alive, you know what I mean? Oh, fuck's sake.
Like, it was almost easier to get hit by a bomb.
Oh, that's much easier. Yes. I mean, seriously, it is easier to get hit.
Yeah, and I know we're laughing, but it's the only thing we can do anymore in this situation, really.
This is true.
Yeah.
But imagine the girl who's lived there for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like,
I mean, we laugh. It's months for us. It's like she's trying to just put a piece of bread on her table, and she's 18.
Yeah.
Parents are killed.
Yeah.
Brothers are taken away in the trenches somewhere. Yeah. Just her trying to go to this little one shop that's open, that's serving food. And and fearing that when everyone leaves, she'll still be there and the Russians will take over again. Second time being reoccupied.
That would be so messed up. Like,
beyond messed up.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine living throughout the first time the Russians.
Try a second time.
No, hell no.
I don't think they'll let them live. If the Russians do a second time, they'll kill everyone there.
Yeah, let's hope for the best for her.
And they're not there yet. We're gonna take them. We're on the left side, so.
Fuck's sake. But yeah, like, how do you feel about the future of Ukraine? Like, how do you see it, in your opinion?
I try to say I do see one.
Yeah, man. So, to a very different kind of question, what's your inspiration or your favorite fictional character or non-fictional that simply inspires you?
This guy called Johannes.
Stop.
Honestly, it's a combination of a lot of them, but ultimately, this fighting warrior spirit that's, all Americans and everyone in the world, it's just, we find our own figures to follow. It seems like our own idols, so to speak. I mean, mine personally might be through the Viking gods. Others might be through the Christian God. But it's not just really that. It's how you use that power that you're talking about that you grab from whatever belief you're trying to find and what you do with it.
Yeah.
And that goes back to your question of the whole internal war, so to speak, because there are people over here that weren't here for either Ukraine or their country, but for themselves. And that's where things got really mucked up in the very, very beginning.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting topic though.
Yeah. Oh, it's a whole nother.
Yeah.
There's a movie in itself about different freaking organizations, different legions, different freaking volunteer groups that were corrupt as hell.
Oh shit.
They didn't mean to become corrupt, but they saw the avenue to become corrupt and make money. And even the organization I was in became corrupt. That was a U.S. based one.
Yeah.
Find some fact that a lot of money's missing. You know what happened? So the guys on the ground are homeless, but yet the board back home is doing well. Yeah. So it hurts other people that are back home in the U.S. or wherever else who want to donate, don't want to donate anymore due to the fact that, oh, there's corruption, this and that. There's no corruption. The corruption has been wiped out. And the problem that the corruption has done is taken everyone in the world and said, we don't need to give anymore because of it. And now the ones that are truly still left behind are truly left behind.
Yeah, man. And that sucks too. But yeah, to the ending of this interview, you may have a free word of speech. So what would you like to say to the world right now?
Slava Ukraini. Heroям слава. Slava noches.
Смерть.
No.
Yeah. Alrighty, mate. So, Grey Wolf, thank you for this interview. It was a blast. It has been a
Yes, it
blast
was.
knowing you. I mean, amazing guy, as I've said before. Absolutely love this
We
man.
can't sign off yet.
Mimi.
Mimi! Yes, we must get the most important person.
Yeah.
Mimi! The war dog. The original. The original, born on the battlefield. War dog.
Alrighty.
Born on the battlefield.
So, Mimi,
This little pup. Born.
you'll have a free bark. What do you want to say?
What do you want to say, girl? What do you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, she's a message to the world.
Tell them what you went through. Tell them how packs of dogs tried to eat you. Tell them how you had to avoid the bombs, the shrapnel from artillery every day.
How you killed
Nowhere
the
to go.
Russians. Yeah.
And then digging trash at best so you could eat.
Yeah.
Or a rain puddle just so you drink.
Oh yes. So this is me wrapping up this video. Thank you all for watching. Please do me a huge favor and leave this video a like, share this video. And yeah, see you guys in a bit. Пока.
Один хуйло і ти теж хуйло! Слава Україні! Героям слава, прокляті русські!
Україна! Слава за це! There we go.
Support Ukraine until victory.